But what they have not taken the presidency to is the zone of competency, zone of justice, zone of men of integrity. So if we make the mistake again of zoning to another incompetent character simply because of the location of his village, well, we will regret it.
So we are saying that what obtained about 60 years ago cannot confidently obtain now. So with respect to grazing routes, as a matter of fact, we're in a modern civilization. Modern civilization does not really give room for somebody taking cattle from the north down to the Port. Efforts must be made. These boys that are taking these cattle, they should go to school. In fact, when you look at pastoral nomadism, it's one that took place about 100, 200 years ago. There's no civilized world today you find people following cattle.
There's a great deal of reform required in the national security sector, especially with the police. I don't see any serious reforms going on. Where I would have said maybe a lot of money is going on into training, this, that, and so on. No. In nearly every state, where today we have the military complementing the effort of the police on ground, we know how much state governments are spending. And that is why some of the governors are saying, allow us to have our own police force. And then this money, or this entire monies we are pumping in at the various state levels, will go into our own police. The federal government could lay out the guidelines. We're not saying give them a free hand. Our politicians are not as mature as that. Governors, they are like children. They are like related to people.
Things are shying away.
The National Chairman, Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, Governor Mai Malat Buni, has cancelled the party's National Executive Committee meeting slated for Thursday. Buni was on Wednesday given the go-ahead by President Muhammadu Buhari to continue to manage the affairs of the party and to ensure the conduct of its March 26 National Convention. Now, acting national chairman of the CECPC, Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, had last week fixed a NEC meeting for Thursday. Well, joining us to discuss this is Biodo Shomi, a political analyst, and Ifedayo Iyaniwura. He is the Ekiti State IPAC chairman. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
It's nice being with you. Good evening.
It's my pleasure.
Great. I'll start with you, Mr. Iyaniwura. We have spoken about a lot of issues as to political parties, but let's talk about the APC and all of the infighting that we've seen. First, there seemed to have been a coup against the Buni-led CPC. And the last time you and I spoke, you had said something about this. But now, Buni seems to be back in the picture and he seems to be turning things around. Do you think that this cancellation has anything to do with the convention date? Is that date sacrosanct, even though Mr. President has said there will not be any going back on that convention date?
Thank you very much for having me again. What I feel is that no mercy is what we see taking place back in the party. If you recall our last discussion, I was so emphasized on the basis of the political party leadership managing Buni instead of rocking the boat. INEC, it has to be through a known chairman and secretary of the party. So if APC must conduct their convention at all costs by March, automatically it can only be by Buni. And every step taken by Bello remains null and void. Because there is no document Bello can sign by a chairman known to seems to be benighted to cease fire. I think someone would have advised Mr. President brilliantly on that. Because what we're expecting is Mr. Buni must thoroughly be managed if the party will go ahead.
Even thought through. I know people always give that excuse that the president is trying to stay aloof, and not get involved within, the party. But now that the president has gotten himself involved, even though El Rufai verbally said that they had spoken to Mr. President, but now the president is back in the picture saying, well, let's go back to status quo. But the question is, why was this even allowed to happen in the first instance? And how does this even make the party look to those who are in opposition to them?
Yeah, you see, when the major premise is faulty or minor premise is faulty, the conclusion will always be faulty. We need to start and go backwards. When Oshiomhole was removed, the idea of a caretaker committee came into place. And then they now had a caretaker committee that was challenged in the courts. The validity and the legality was challenged in the courts. And APC continued to troll along like that until when another coup came, the desire to change the leadership by some people who claim to have the backing of the president, and they succeeded in doing that up to the point at which INEC made a pronouncement. It was the pronouncement of INEC that caused a revisit of the issue. And what was the point being made by INEC? INEC was hinging on a point that they needed to give 21 days notice before they can change leadership. That itself is broken. That should never, be part of the rules or procedures in the first instance. A political party is an association, voluntary association of people. Whenever they choose to change their leadership, they must be able to do it within the ambit of their own rules, the rules of association. It shouldn't be within the ambit of the electoral rules, dictated by the umpire or imposed by the National Assembly. So that is the first observation which I need to make on that. The second issue, is the idea of having a caretaker committee. Does it mean that whenever Mr. President, not particularly Buhari, but it could be anybody in future, if you are not happy with the party chairman, all you need to do is engineer his removal and then have a caretaker committee. That does not engender good internal party democracy. There should be no reason why anybody or group of people, no matter how powerful they are, should be able to remove a democratically elected chairman of any association. The rule should be that they should wait till the convention, then present another candidate. And if you like or you don't like the person, you can then do whatever you like at that. So the error starts from day one. The moment we had to start removing chairmen, elected chairmen, and replace them with unelected, officers, that is where the problem is. And that is what INEC, in my view, should be addressing. It's not about whether they should give 18 days notice, 21 days notice before they can change leadership. No, the principle, the basic democratic principle that once you are elected, you cannot be removed except through the ballot. That should remain sacrosanct, and it should be central to our internal political organization. So within that context, one is bound to look at the role of Mr. President in all this. Mr. President was quoted to have, according to Malam El Rufai, to have endorsed, their move against the Buni-led administration. While also we have Buni now coming in to say, well, he has the endorsement of Mr. President to remain in office. The interesting part of it for me is that you can see the role of the law enforcement agencies who are busy reading what they perceive to be Mr. President's body language. When they thought Mr. President's body language was in favor of Bello, you saw the security operatives move into action to ensure that Buni was not Buni and Apanguede, the secretary, were not in control of the secretary. And the moment they read a second language that Mr. President now favors Buni, again, they had to move in and then ensure Buni remains. So we can't have a law enforcement system, being run in that way. We should be building institutions, not an institution that depends on the body language of Mr. President or any other individual. These are issues which are central, to good governance and democracy in Nigeria. If we don't start addressing it, we at the Nigerian Police Force, look at the law, look at the rules of association within the APC, look at the electoral rules, rather than looking out for the body language of Mr. President, we will continue to move from one crisis to the other. And in my view, we should begin to look at the idea that it should be anathema for anyone or group of people to remove any chairman except through national convention. So in my view, Buni came in through a coup, so they were trying to oust him through another coup. So it is this system that needs to be challenged.
Interesting. So garbage in, garbage out. But let's go to back to you, Mr. Yanwura. Mr. Shomi makes an interesting point here, and I did ask a question. How does this would you like to respond to him? But quickly, I just want to add, how does this make the APC look, especially as it's inching close to a national convention?
Well, let me state this clearly, because of 10 factor. You see, there is no political party in Nigeria that has its own isolated rules that surpass the position of electoral heart. So, you see, the issue of Oshiomhole and the situation that brought in Buni as the caretaker chairman of APC, if we can recollect, we will realize that it was the secretary of Oshiomhole that the leadership of the party managed to call for national to call for next meeting, an avenue where Oshiomhole was removed. Don't forget, it was the secretary that called for that next meeting. And don't forget the position of INEC in respect of the commission's guidelines and regulations concerning the political parties operation in Nigeria. That whenever there is going to be a communication between political parties and the commission, it can only come through the chairman and secretary. So where there is no chairman, then secretary can take charge. So that is the opportunity that the APC utilized in the case of Oshiomhole, and the case that brought in Buni as caretaker chairman. But the question we need to even ask ourselves is this: the issue of caretaker in APC, does it even know to electoral act? Does it even know to the party constitution? You see, the party is only enjoying a certain opportunity. The case is strictly an intra-party matter. So nobody can fight it from her side. You can only fight within. At the moment there is somebody within the party that wanted to go to court to challenge whatever he perceived to be an abnormality before a competent court for adjudication, leadership will easily expel such individual. At the moment you are expelled, you lack the statutory right to drag the party to court. And that has been the strength of the political party called APC. And this is why it's as if what they are practicing stands. We cannot blame INEC for receiving the position of APC. I'm talking about the situation that brought me Benin, because it was a recognized known secretary of the party that called for next meeting. So in this case of Buni Bello lacks all statutory rights to call for next meeting, because it's never a renowned chairman of the party nor secretary of the party. So if the leadership of the party had wanted to play the game perfectly this time around again, even if they know that it's Buni that is the problem, they ought to have managed the secretary very well. So that when they manipulate the secretary, then the secretary can do their bit. But in a situation where they fight both the Buni and the secretary, of course, no one left a game that can play the game for their own advantage.
Okay.
And that is why they find themselves at the corner now.
Okay. Interesting.
In which they left with no chance to bring Buni back. So the leadership to just stop grandstanding. Because the true Democrats in Nigeria will now open their eyes on ground and see our patient democracy, electoral process being bastardized.
Okay. Finally, Mr. Shomi, before we wrap things up, there are those who say that it's the bigwigs within the party that are causing all of this trouble, and most of the trouble that is, ongoing in the party is maybe because of one person. But where do you stand on that quickly as we wrap up? Because, again, I asked at the beginning, are we certain that this convention date will not shift with all of the things that we're seeing happen every day?
Okay, if you'll allow me, I will come to your question, but I need to quickly correct the impression created by Mr. Yanagura. Oshomole's idea that the secretary convened a meeting was because of the crisis created, by the court case. So Mr. Yanagura needs to understand what led to that. There was no other option. The point I am making is that we need to ensure that when people are elected, they are also removed through, a democratic process rather than some people coming together to remove them. This is exactly what happened to Buni, and Buni is back in office. In relation to your question, whether the convention will, Mr. President has actually, from all the accounts available, officially and unofficially, Mr. President has made it clear that the convention should go ahead on March 26th. Now, there is another problem. Legal cases. We learned that somebody had obtained a judgment, one Mr. Amuru, since last year, stopping the convention from going ahead. And APC is trying frantically to discharge it. Except they discharge the court order, they cannot hold the convention on March 26th. But from what I gathered, lawyers seems to be confident that that will be overturned. If that is overturned, then the convention will go on March 26th, provided there's no other new court injunction against it.
Well, I guess that we'll all have to wait and see. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. I want to say thank you to Biodo Showumi, who is a political analyst. Ifedayo Yanwura is the Ekiti State IPAC chairman. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being part of the conversation.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Well, thank you all for staying with us as we round off the show tonight. We'll leave you with street views. Yes, because Nigerians are speaking about their love-hate relationship with pedestrian bridges. I am Mary Anacon. I'll be back tomorrow with Plus Politics as we talk for development. Have a good evening.
You have to be safe. As an elderly person, I climb it to even show example to people that this is the way to go.
Most time we are always in an hurry, and there is traffic everywhere and all that. So people want to just take an alternative route to get to where they are going to. It's not right, but we do it sometimes. But for those who have a challenge, maybe there should be an alternate thing the government would provide for them to cross. But if you don't have an issue, you just have to do the right thing.
I prefer crossing than using the pedestrian. There are some people who have phobia for heights, and most of us, the reason why we do use normal this thing instead of pedestrian is because we felt it's stressful. Before you climb this thing, you are already tired. Then some people are carrying load. So carrying load with this thing, moving up, it's another problem.
Many people want shortcuts. So they prepare crossing here than using the pedestrian bridge, but it's not right. It's good to do what is right. The pedestrian bridge is being guided, so there is no need for scaling that you will fall down or nothing else. So it's being guided by iron, so it's very safe. There's no problem about that. You can use the pedestrian bridge.
I don't think there's any excuse saying it's because of health. I don't think there's any excuse. It's dangerous crossing the express. It's an express, it's not even an ordinary street. And it reduces traffic jam on the road if you use the pedestrian bridge.
If you look at the bridge, for instance, it's quite long. It's quite a distance. So people feel, let me just go across in 5 seconds. I'm at the other side. But I think it's safer to use the bridge. And, a driver might be coming, failed brake, hits you, and that's the end of the road.
Do you know any female between the ages of 18 to 25 who is currently unemployed or an undergraduate who is passionate about technology? Africa Agility is empowering young females between the ages of 18 to 25 with tech skills ranging from
product management,
web development, artificial intelligence, data science, digital marketing, machine learning, blockchain technology, agile, networking, and cybersecurity through partnership with Cisco. Here is your chance to learn these tech skills for free. We offer a variety of instructor-led and self-paced programs, both physical and virtual. To be a part of our programs, join our community using the details on your screen. Africa Agility is slowly reducing the poverty rate in Africa, one girl at a time. To sponsor a female or to donate to this course, visit donate.africaagility.org. Thank you.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Life can be fun and rewarding, but it also comes with some risk. As in business, you win some, you lose some. And that's why you need to be wise in the choices you make. It's like placing a bet. Again, you need to be wise. Wise in choosing an innovative platform with the highest market options and highest odds ever. That's why Winners Golden Bet, the leader in online, in-shop, virtual, and live sports betting, gives you enhanced platforms that offer you the best chances of winning. For betting on live soccer matches, live dog races, and virtual games. Winners Golden Bet is your best bet. Instant payment of winnings guaranteed. Play online or in any of our numerous shops nearest to you.
Hey guys, be wise. Play on Winners Golden Bet.
Winners Golden Bet, the wise choice.
So what are the top decisions that the United States considers necessary that Nigeria must take? I like to think of my interactions as conversations, not interviews. And that's why I say asking questions is both an art and a science. Everyone says in Islam you are allowed to have 4 wives. Is it mandatory? The right question enables answers that educate, inform, clarify, and help you, the viewer, to better understand the issue before making up your mind.
Our goal is to reduce from 10 to 2 days the time it takes to register businesses in Nigeria.
Join me every week on this station, PlusTvAfrica, and gain exclusive access to my conversations. I'm Angela Ajitumobi.
In raising our kids, parents should stop playing God.
The internet is actually using the people.
But when you are looking for money to help other people, then it becomes easy.
Don't rush into marriage. I always say this. You rush in, you rush out.
Family is the bedrock of every society and the essence of life.
On Today with John and Helen, we dig deep into family values in every sense of the word.
Join us every Saturday at 9:15 a.m. on PlusTvAfrica, DSTV channel 408.
With you, we play a part in strengthening the values passed from generation to generation.
Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Welcome to your favorite program, The Moment of Truth, brought to you by the Citadel Global Community Church. Our God is a God of salvation, far above all principality and power, and might and dominion, that regardless of what happens in this season, you will escape. Say to your neighbor, there is no peace for the wicked. The lazy man does not rouse what he took in hunting, but diligence is a man's precious possession. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Moment of Truth with Pastor Tunde Bakare, Sundays, 7 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges. The growing youth population with little engagement, that is a ticking time bomb. We are a blessed people with diverse culture and highly cerebral minds who have a lot to say. And yes, we are talking. It is important we drive the right conversation that informs, inspires, influences thought and action. If we say there's beauty in our diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture. We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation, as we are the hope for the future. Yesterday's conversations shape today. What are you saying to shape your tomorrow? We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Osayo Mesale and it's a full house. We have Nama, Isi and Uti Elu. Hello ladies. Hello. Who am I slapping this evening? And there was a slap that resurrected somebody from the dead.
Perhaps I should reconsider my sitting position.
You know? Oh really?
You should sit in front here.
How are you? Out of harm's way.
And the slap happened.
And there was a slap. Yeah.
Thou shalt not saunter to look for trouble. Thou shalt sit still. Yeah.
Okay.
Respect thyself.
I respect thyself. If not, you will stagger back to your seat. Who are we starting with? Best speech, madam.
I was so unprepared, but I was having a conversation with my sister yesterday. She was like, "Oh, you got it," and all of that. So I said, "Okay, just go do your thing." Yeah. And I went there and I won.
What was
Best
the topic?
Speaker. Well, it was no more in the shadows. Awesome. It was supposed to be an icebreaker speech, introducing yourself, and I took it from the angle of the area where I struggled for a bit, being invisible and not accepted. Speaker. Where's your chapter? Toastmasters Club? Yes, where is it? It's Business School Netherlands Toastmasters Club.
Ikeja
Jerry.
Is that the one with the English doctor?
English doctor is in Ikeja Toastmasters.
Oh, is he in Ikeja?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, he's the vice president there.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. When we are done toasting to the masters, you see how was your day?
As you can see, I've been tearing up all evening.
Oh, it's a sign of stress and tiredness.
So tired. I think the Easter holiday should come quickly so we can just rest.
Actually, I'm looking forward to December.
And some work.
And it's kind of it all,
and more work. Yeah. Well, you know, fake it till you make it and all that. But yes, work, more work. You want to ask again? No, work. Thank you.
Someone actually said, don't say fake it till you make it. And the person said, actually be it till you make it.
Become.
No.
Become.
That's not it.
Become.
So we are talking about become the it you wish to be. We are talking about the slap. Right?
That's where your mind is.
That's where my mind is. And yes, what we found as today's quote.
Yeah.
To be able to bear provocation is an argument of great reason, and to forgive it's of a great mind. So everyone, the drama that ensued earlier today at the inauguration of Professor Charles Soludo as the governor of Anambra State, there was a drama when the wife of the outgoing governor, Willie Obiano, Ibele Chukwu, that's her name, got slapped, hot one, by Bianca Ojukwu at the event. Now, Mrs. Ojukwu is the widow of the late Biafran leader, Odumegwu Ojukwu. So it's our ladies' night out. Uti, EC, Norma, and I are discussing how to handle provocation, right? We're discussing handling provocation, and we're reviewing that altercation that happened between Bianca and Mrs. Obiano. And when we open our phone lines, we really love to hear what your thoughts are on this. But first, let's take a break for what we found in the news. You are still watching Ways. Now, St. Patrick's Day kicks off a worldwide celebration, also known as the Feast of St. Patrick, on March 17. Many will wear green in honor of the Irish and decorate with shamrocks. Now, according to law, the wearing of the green tradition dates back to story written about St. Patrick in 1726. St. Patrick used the shamrock to illustrate the Holy Trinity and wore green clothing. And while the story is unlikely to be true, many will revel in this Irish heritage and eat traditional Irish fare as well this day. So who understands this holiday? Because I am lost.
St. Patrick's Day is a fantastic day to be in Ireland. So much fun, green everywhere. The law has taken on many things. So I believe the original color of St. Patrick was actually blue. It became green when I think Ireland adopted the shamrock as their official flower. And that's when it got changed to green. And of course, the story about him using the shamrock to depict the Holy Trinity. And also there's stories about him raising the dead. And there's stories about him using his staff to drive all the snakes out of Ireland. So it's a very proud Irish holiday. Irish people are already boisterous people. Saint. So, but the story is, I think he was from humble backgrounds, I think, and then he was claimed that he was taken away like in a slave-like situation. But awesome day to be, like I said,
to be Irish,
to be in Ireland.
All right. So happy St. Patrick's Day. Norma Ifanga, let me start with you. What did you find first in the news? Quickly.
Okay, it's a continuation of our conversation this evening, but the better part, really. Governor Soludo has been inaugurated today, and he announced that he would be announcing his commissioners in a week, right? So the just inaugurated governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, said he will roll out his list of commissioners in 1 week, and the governor said that he has no time to waste and would start work immediately. In fact, he even invested 8 hours today already. Today is the first day of work, and I just reported for duty and will work for at least 8 hours. We had more than that since the elections to celebrate history victory. So now it's time to work, and there's no 1 minute or kobo to waste in fanfare. Well, this is really encouraging and commendable, because the governor himself has taken initiative. Gone are the days in Anambra State where you spend so much time celebrating and already monies are being disbursed for things other than actual duties of the governor. So he's going into his work, he's ready to work. He says in a week he's going to announce his cabinet members.
So is it possible, on a lighter note, that was why there was no much attendance on the reception for the outgoing
it was even, well, I surfed through the media and I saw that people were even applauding that he was that serious, not making it grandiose in any way, just going in.
That's what I'm saying, the outgoing governor did a reception. And there was really nobody, practically nobody there. So it's possible that because he went straight to work.
Yes.
Okay.
From what I think. From what I also gathered, he was the one that actually sponsored the event himself. He said it was from his purse.
He just did a quiet one.
All right, so
he's
easy.
ready.
Congratulations. We're looking forward to great things happening for the people of Anambra State. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a good win for them. So let's take your
Mine
story.
is from the Book of Lamentations, and we are lamenting. The person who is actually lamenting is our wonderful Tony Lumelu. He lamented that hardship is being faced by Nigerians due to prices of food and or the hike in food prices and the fuel and the diesel and others as they saw. So the Nigerian economist Tony Lumelu has lamented, and he stated that in his tweet today, Thursday, and he said that he took out time to listen to his colleagues who expressed their pains. According to him, the country hasn't had electricity for about 5 days now, and while prices of diesel and food items continue to skyrocket, it's abysmal. Now, for me, I think, of course, we are all feeling the pain, the pangs of the economy, and that there is nothing else we can say about this, because we are actually feeling it. We go to the market today, the next day, the prices of food has skyrocketed. So it's different from what you actually got it for the previous day. So yes, we are feeling the pangs of this, and we are hoping to leave this lamentation behind by the end of the year.
Okay, on that note, Uti, your story.
So, well, in line with the Book of Lamentations, I shall proceed to chapter 2, verse 1. So, my headline says, FG halts 600 billion naira subsidy, electricity subsidy, and confirms power tariff hike. So here, this is the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, the NERC, on Wednesday declared that subsidy on power amounting to about 600 billion has now been stopped by the federal government. It's actually been done over a period of time, so this is not a hard slash now. So it's been down, I think in the story it claims that the 600 has come down to about 30 billion, which is what it was earlier this year, but it's looking like it's coming to a stop. Of course, electricity tariffs were already reviewed in February, and he was informing us that electricity tariffs will be reviewed every 6 months, and any level or any kind of subsidy, I'm still referring to it, comes an agreement with the government and what they will be able to provide. The situation with power, it talks also, and that's the key reason, one of the key reasons why I took the story. Whilst they've been reducing the subsidy over the last 4 or 5 years, I said, to about 30 billion, which it is this year, we can't continue to subsidize everything. That's the first problem. And then the second thing for me was he talked about some of the reasons why the grid has collapsed twice in so many days. And one of the key things was the vandalization of the gas lines that supply gas to the GenCos. That is, a unique situation for us. Security officials, they're trying to do their jobs, but where it is us Nigerians who are vandalizing these pipes, and we're suffering the consequences.
So let me give the direct consequence. Timidakolo tweeted. He said Nigeria will humble you.
Life.
Service apartments said they are not doing servicing again. Everybody should please get their own generator. They said cancel the contract. They said cancel the contract that says no personal generator in the facility. So we're going to be seeing more of this.
Exactly.
This is the direct consequence of
real reality of.
But I think people should just
in the world.
start to seriously consider putting up a proper solar system that powers everything in your house.
But then how
it's
many?
Expensive, but in the long run, it will pay off.
So when you think about it, that's like everybody now, just the way we sink boreholes for water, we do. How many people can afford it? Well, and the question for me is, look, this, maybe now that the diesel situation is happening, and this is going to bite every single person, no matter how much money you have, you will feel it in some way, shape or form. Maybe we'll start to look at this sector and see how critical, because it cannot be that with the amount of experts, even if you say Nigeria doesn't have experts, you can bring in people, you know,
to wake up our refineries,
cannot be this difficult. In a country surrounded by an ocean, there is hydro. In some parts where we have wind, I mean, there's so much renewable and
we can actually harness all forms of electricity.
Exactly, and then we actually now have gas. So. The story that we keep saying that we don't have power, like
it's ridiculous.
We're so over it.
Let me quickly take my story because we don't have time. I want to discuss SLAP. DELSU backs out of ASU strike, resumes classes. The Delta State University, Abraka, has backed out of the ongoing Academic Staff Union of University strike, as the institution's management also directed the students to immediately return for academic activities. Now, I like this particular story because I am a product of this. And I know that whilst this guy was governor, what's his name now? I forget his name. Ibori was governor. He made sure that 4 years was 4 years. So I did not spend an extra day in school. Yes, when I was in school, there was still ASU strike, but we were never part of it. So I think it has to get to that point where universities will begin to decide. If the state government can fund those universities, not all the schools, but it's just that people will come at me and say, so what then happens to the other people? But if the state governments are serious about their own students, right, please, by all means, fund the schools so that they take themselves out of this, what's it called, this headache of a perpetually unresolved issue with the federal government. So I think this is kudos to Delta State University. And on that note, what are we slapping tonight? I feel like my hand has been itching me to slap somebody.
Why not slap yourself? You can slap yourself.
This slap is sweeter when it moves away from the face.
You see what I said? You see?
And it has that resounding sound.
Oh my God, the one that everybody cringed. I said, you know what, let's take a break. When we come back from the break, we want to discuss provocation, handling provocation. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So if you've not seen the video that we're talking about today, about the slap, here it is. Again. Go and watch it. It's a bit sketchy, but if you look where somebody bounced to somebody, when the person got there and made and said a word, right, that provoked the other person, and the person stood up and gave that person one hot, you see everybody shouted, "Hey!" Right? So at least we all have at least that one person who really gets under our skin. Sometimes they throw passive aggressive digs your way. Other times they attack you directly. Different methods, same result. You can't stand them, but how do you react? Now, this incident reminds us of something that happened last year with Senator Remi Tinubu. that she called a woman a thug at a constitution review hearing. Now, it is understandable that provocations can and will happen, but women in power are considered ambassadors and are expected to set certain example. Regardless of what happens behind the scene, altercations like this make women appear emotional and badly behaved. There's a popular saying that women are the biggest enemies of women. And we are asking, how best can we handle provocations and public outbursts that have negative impact on the image of women and change that narrative, because that's not who we are. All right, so please let us share what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet to us at Ways Show Africa, one with the hashtag Ways Show. All right, so ladies, there was a slap.
And there was a slap.
So, okay, let me go through your minds. Like, what came to your mind when you saw that that video? Because it's been all over our faces. You know, for a second, I've been thinking, what are we going to talk about? It's Open House Thursday. We have to talk about something that is really interesting. And I remember how Uti was busy vibrating. There's no office of the First Lady. There's no this one. There's no that one. I can't say, okay. We think we'll give this woman the F1 tweet and the reactions about that slap. People were happy that somebody finally, gave her a well-deserving farewell package. Right, but let me hear your thoughts, right, on what went through your mind when you saw this altercation that happened between herself and Bianca Ojukwu.
Who's going first?
You go first.
I couldn't have said anything. Okay, what came through my mind? Okay. When I saw that video, I said, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Did this woman actually slap this woman? But I actually heard that sound, so I said it to myself, that is for real. That thing actually happened. Then I said, oh my gosh, these ladies are supposed to be they're supposed to set examples for the other ladies or the other women that are supposed to be around them. They're supposed to be role models. So why would they behave like this? I said, no, this thing would have been some sort of provocation. This woman must have been provoking Madam Bianca before now. So I think Bianca actually took her time to actually respond to her in the cause of it. I'm telling you all the things that was going through my mind when I was looking at it. And in the cause of it, I saw that Bianca was, unperturbed after the slap. She was totally relishing the moment, actually. So for me, I think it was something that had culminated to what actually happened today.
Okay, so maybe what's that word?
Pent up
aggression that has been gathering.
She had been.
The blessed the cup just full today. Finally, let me hear your thoughts, Madam ABC. Appearance, behavior, communication.
ABC.
Okay, I think my first reaction was I was embarrassed. I was totally embarrassed on behalf of
my people.
When we want to say the two, both of them. Because first of all, this was a public event. And even the importance of the event, which was the inaugural ceremony of the
incoming governor.
Thank you very much. So this kind of incident happening as such, it was like, whoa, we didn't see that coming. First of all, when I saw Madam Obiano waltzing across,
I thought she was going to go and greet her.
I was scared that there was probably, and this is me being sincere, no disrespect to her as a person, but I was scared. The first thing that came to my mind was that, is she going to pull her clothes? Because it was really comical to me. I was like, is this woman having a mental breakdown and she's about to do something that they were... I had to watch it a second time to hear the slap. And then I was like, wow. And then all of the words.
Yeah.
I was totally embarrassed because not just the fact that these women are supposed to be role models, they may not even necessarily be role models. But this kind of thing, the outlook it has for women, women cannot just be civil. right? So I was totally embarrassed. And then when I read the story in depth and I saw what had happened, I said, oh, wow. I can only imagine what happened, what made Bianca to go all out, to dish out. And
that
she
was the
calm
reaction
about it. And that was even, for me, it was very
moment.
dangerous. Because you know when you see a crocodile and it's very calm, and then suddenly,
The house is on you,
it
yes.
snaps, and then it goes back in.
that
is
calculating.
danger
she's
waiting
lethal.
to happen.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what made her totally prepared for a moment like this and seize that moment when it came.
She did
but
not waste it. Let me hear
overall,
Otis
it was really embarrassing.
Let me hear Otis. So what came to your mind?
You know,
I am logical.
I mean, what came to my mind is, you know, like you said, Nigeria just gives you something every day.
To talk about.
And I swear this is probably one of the reasons why they're happiest people on earth, because someone got to distract you from reality. And this was just it. I mean, it's sad. Noma has sort of touched on the key part for me. It's very, will I say auspiciously or inauspiciously timed. We're just celebrating International Women's Day. This is Women's History Month. We're breaking the bias. This woman just took sellotape and taped the bias back together and was like, here you go. Y'all talking rubbish. What are you breaking bias? If women are going to come for women like this, if we're going to be slapping each other in public, if we're going to be calling each other names in public, let's just all agree that we've been set back. And this is women violence. How do we say it? Violence. This is just violence. So I don't think I really need to say much more than that because
She didn't just take it. She took welding machine.
Exactly. You know?
Welded the bias.
So all of us that were sorry, you have been
like it's been unbroken. No. It was breaking.
It was breaking.
So they don't unbreak them.
No, she has taken it back. They
are fixed it.
All the breaking you broke last week, it's done. She welded it back. She cemented it back. She hammered it back together. I'm sorry, ladies. Try again in 2023.
You really make me cry.
Try again in 2023. That's what this is.
Okay, so whoever is calling us on the what's it called? The SMS and WhatsApp line. This is not the line to call. Just hold on. We'll put the line very soon.
So I mean, I know that we've made light
because
of it.
Because again, we made light of it. But Oti, I want to come back to
is
the conversation that we had. Remember when we were talking about the office of the First Lady?
Which
because again, yes, it doesn't exist. But again, right? So this just I mean, because you could tell, because a lot of people started, in fact, if you read comments, you'll be tired. They started pitying the man, say, oh, no wonder, I couldn't do certain things, you know? No. Like, so it seemed like she was actually
out of control.
Yes, stifling some form of power, and they will some form of control. Let us just define what you're supposed to be controlling and define the kind of power that it should be allotted to you. Should we not start to think that way?
So will it be that you want to define the power that is allotted? You can define all you want. We have plenty of things written in the Constitution. I don't see you enforcing them. So it's not about whether you write it down. It's about whether or not. Look, everybody that is a public figure, let's not even go as far as politicians and their wives and whatever. We that were sitting here, we represent the Waze brand. We will be expected to behave in a certain way. So the reality of it is, I'm sorry, I don't think you need to define common decency to people.
If you have it, you have it.
You know, it's like common sense, but unfortunately, they say common sense is not so common. So the reality of it is, once you're a public figure, it doesn't matter whether it's politics, entertainment, whatever. Once you have a platform somewhere where you are recognizable and you're associated with something, there is a level of decorum that you should demonstrate. So you can write down all the rules that you want. I doubt that there's any rule you could have written down that would have stopped this from happening today. I don't think so. So when you say, should there be a guidebook, should there be a rule book? No, there should be common sense. But even if there's no common sense, the power you wield, and I know I say this now, and I'm saying it because it probably will not apply to people like me, but the power you wield also is about what's the way I'll put it? You can only go as far as you're allowed to go. If somebody is taking charge, if you're being cautioned, if you're being put in your place, if you're not allowed to be a tyrant, tyranny will not occur. So maybe perhaps what you are trying to say in not so many words is, should she have been better controlled? I'll stop there.
Would that have helped? even if she was better controlled.
No, so you know that
it would not have gotten to that. It would not have gotten to that stage. But women will now come out and say,
exactly. That's why I said that some people will come for me. But the truth of it is, look, you, whether it was your mother or your father, you knew there was a look they gave you, or there was a and you knew that that was the place you stopped. So that's what I mean, you know. So if you are allowed, like you said, in the alleged behavior of control and tyranny and all of that, it was allowed to happen. If it was checked, it shouldn't happen. So for it to happen, it was allowed. Either I don't want to charge the governor, but either you looked the other way or you just went, but it was allowed.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree in some sense. I mean, because we are not, we are in an environment that does not encourage accountability and respect for humanity, for the individual. I'm not even talking about whether women, I mean, it's just to buttress what Uti was trying to say about decency and all that. Just respect for your fellow human being.
And respect for self.
So and respect for self, which is, in fact, if you don't respect yourself, how can you respect another human being? Whether the way they feel about how you're talking to them or your actions towards them, things like that. And because the society doesn't even encourage that, decadence is the order of the day. People behave anyhow. Nobody's going to be held responsible for their actions or their behaviors because it's not termed to be criminal. Do you understand? So because it's not criminal and there's no penalties or consequences for it, then people are behaving anyhow.
Okay.
If I look at the ex-governor's wife, even if you don't have a role, the fact that you represent in the sense, maybe it's not a title, but in a sense, you represent what women should be like. You can create an example for others to follow. You can, even if there were past presidents' wives and first ladies who created an office, who gave some kind of structure to what they were doing just to be able to give an example of what things should be like. So when you come into a situation or an environment that doesn't have organization or structure or something, you can't create that structure. And that structure was missing today because of, I don't know, behavior that you felt you were not accountable for.
Let me quickly point out 3 things, then we'll go on a break because I want to open our phone lines. High-handedness, you know, there was so much show of high-handedness. Then it's like also, I think you made a statement in passing. We don't understand conflict management in this country. We believe everything must end with fisticuffs and all of that. Then again, that phrase that says power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know, there was a play out of that, you know, at the event. But let's take a break. We'd like to open our phone lines to also hear what your thoughts are for this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, if you just tuned in, is our ladies' night out, and we're discussing handling provocation. We're reviewing the altercation between Bianca Ojukwu and Mrs. Obiano, right? Please let us hear what you have to say. I want to say there was a slap. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Our phone line is now open. Remember the rule. Please turn off the volume. The volume of your television set, turn it off completely so we don't hear an echo. Now, the number to call is 07025007749. 07025007749. Please, whoever is calling the WhatsApp number, this is the number to call. Thank you. Okay, so we have a few comments here. It says, Okay, maybe Uti, take your comments quickly, then EC, I think.
Okay. So mine is from Bobby Kennedy in Jalingo. Thank you for sending in your comment. I hope that adage of promise and fail won't be onto Chukwuma Soludo. St. Patrick's Day is for celebration through humanity, sharing, giving, forgiving. You people at Ways are usually, as usual, are touching many lives inspirationally. Jehovah guide you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, EC. And
okay, mine is very simple and short, and it says, the future is female, and he gave us the okay sign and a beautiful smile, and it is from Ufoma.
That's below the belt. Ufoma. That was a direct style. No problem.
What doesn't want to say?
Let me take youngest old man for Jegule. Ufoma, we see you. Don't worry, we're done. Thank you for calling. Ufoma, are you there? They say Ufoma. Youngest old man, are you there?
Good evening.
Hi, thank you for calling.
How are you? Long time no hear.
From us? Yes, so thank you for calling. You traveled now, you're back.
No, I'm still in the north, so all these things that's happening, I'm not left. Almost all the things that's happening in the north.
Okay.
Especially in Niger State. In fact, I'm seeing it live and direct somewhere in this country. Things are happening.
It is well. So what's your thoughts?
Yes, about today, you see, most of these ships in wolf clothing, wolf in sheep clothing, how they say in English there. We tend to know them when they've been to do some of the situations in public. These are mothers, for goodness sake. In those days, we say they are role models. But I don't see any model they are rolling again. Everybody in the hospital now, just the temper is high. But God will help us. I think in fact, this is time, I swear. I want to hear you. Somebody's mother and somebody's mother versus somebody's auntie and somebody's auntie. It's very painful though. You women should help yourself in deciding what to do to yourself. For me, I move.
Thank you
have every right to move.
So I think the person that's been trying to call is Chuku Enuka from Aqua Anambra State. So call the phone line. Oka, sorry. Anambra State. Call that number. You'll be able to get through to us. Should I take my comments? Yeah, take your comments. Yeah.
Okay, so we have one from Bissy. Says, good evening, ladies. It's quite unfortunate how most women behave towards their fellows. I've seen where women do not respect their fellow women because they feel they are more privileged than others. Sometimes women are talked down on and side comments made by their fellow women because they are widows, do not have children yet, or are not yet married. We still have a long way to go. Respect, character, and self-dignity are very important for women to attain great heights in careers, politics, etc. Morals do not matter to many as we all talk about money.
Yeah. So I think Chuka has finally gotten through to us. Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say. Oh.
Hello.
Hi, Chuka. Yeah. Can you turn off the volume of your television set?
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I want to say is that the slap incident that happened today is a rather unfortunate one. The occasion for today does not actually call for it at all. Whatever thing that may have been the case, the wife of the former governor should have learned to respect the day and comport herself as expected. If you watch that video clip, you see that she left her seat and took time to walk up to where Bianca was. That is an act that is not encouraged at all. Whatever thing that Bianca may have done, we know. And again, I wonder if there is an act of respect for her husband. How will she feel as a wife and as a mother, doing that when her husband is actually a governor that was handing over today?
She completely took.
I want to also say that from what we have been happening in this state, the woman has a record of fighting and slapping people. So that is not very encouraging at all.
Thank you, Chuka.
So should be discouraged.
Thank you. I think again, it's also possible that she might have just been dealing with what's the word now of I'm going to be leaving this seat of power. well, what's next for me? Do you understand? What's that word?
So that...
You know, it's possible that anxiety or whatever it is that...
Is she going to slap somebody?
No. That's what made her to be all over the place. No, I'm not talking about... She was not the one that...
No, but
she was the one that provoked somebody.
Well, don't forget...
You know?
Like he said, they said that she had also had...
The history of slapping people.
Doing on, you know, of irresponsible behavior. Let me put it that way. So we don't know if she even... has, I don't want to say
how
that
stable is she? No, but we are talking about, we have to talk about it because
this is not a behavior that is I don't even know what word to use right now. It's not just acceptable. It's an unusual behavior.
You are trying to be kind.
I'm seriously trying.
Is the word I'm trying to find.
Let me say it's the way it looks. Now, if you watch the video, she sauntered. You know how when somebody's looking for a fight, it was a visual demonstration of a cantankerous nature, simple and short. Because it's like when you're like, I'm gonna bounce over here, I'm gonna show you who I am, I'm gonna call you what I want to call you, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And
unfortunately, she misjudged the calm nature of the person who slapped her, who kept true to form. She slapped her, she returned to reset. She didn't miss a beat. You know, somebody was hugging the life out of her, but she was back to normal. So, you know, we can see that when you are, you know, provoked.
Yeah.
I was going to say provocated. But you can see that when you're provoked. And this for me is the lesson that no matter how calm you think you are, no matter how collected you think you are, just know that there is a button someone can push that will cause you to react.
Let me take Chinyere from Ebonyi State, I think. Oh, sugar. Okay, I think we lost
should I take my comment?
Yeah, take your comment.
Okay, my comment is from Bobby Kennedy, Jalingo, Taraba State. And he says, women are God's gift to humanity and nobody can doubt it. Most times, emotions take women into the dirty part of womanhood. Somebody like me, I look up to the women, females, to take over our nation. That act was comical, but ain't funny at all. Power ain't permanent.
So let me take Chinere, she's back, then I'll come to you now for your comments. Chinere, thank you for joining us. Let's hear what you have to say. And there was a slap.
Good evening, all.
Hi, Chinere.
I'm calling from a boss.
Yes, go ahead, you're live.
My name is Chinere. Maybe the actor that has been accumulated anger. Maybe she has been showing her. She has been celebrating one or the other. But the truth is that Bianca, as the wife of, Ojukwu, suppose maybe in another good day where people will not see them. Meanwhile, the former excellency suppose not to offer any, because something aggravated that snap. Something aggravated that snap. A mad woman who stand up from her seat and snap and help a governor's wife. Supposed to compose herself and give an example for other women to follow up. And not putting all this side stuff like a child, like this in the market. Uneducated woman, and she can what? Something made her to stand up for that. Something made her, she offered a word so annoying. And these people will be saying, if I about I would have put them there. We are all human beings. So I'm trying to say that this is accumulated anger. Accumulated words that have been putting under a pillow for a day like this. Thank you.
They now give I think Norma's comment is right for you to take your comment.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know who gave this comment because there's no name.
There's no
left.
name actually.
But they said, good evening, ladies. I understand the slap Bianca gave Mrs. Obiano was given to her on behalf of the Anambra people as a send-off gift to her. So I can only imagine, because some of the comments online have been funny actually, but there seems to be a truth behind all of these comments. So could it be that this woman has been some form of a nuisance to
the people?
That they were just tired?
Let me take Richard from Lagos
today. Did what every other person would have wanted to do.
Richard, are you there? You're live.
Good evening, ladies.
Hi, Richard. Thank you for calling.
Good evening.
Yeah, if you follow Bianca very well on social media, for a while now, for some years, Bianca stayed away from ABGA because of the way the governor and his cohorts are running the party. She was so happy when Toledo won, and she was just waiting for this day for this bunch of people to leave. And if you remember very well, in 2020, this same first lady was the one that went to America to take the vaccination, and the video went viral where she even booked at the opportunity for her husband to come and do his own there too. The first lady, if you hear about her very well in Anambra State, that lady is a bully. I think she had a little short time of amnesia, that she forgot that her husband was no more governor, or the governor was exiting office, and she thought she was still first lady, and she could still continue that. That thing you saw her do, that's exactly how she behaves. Wow. And she walked over to my lovely Bianca, and Bianca was like, "Oh, I need to give this lady a farewell gift from the good people of Anambra," and she did us a good favor by giving her a farewell slap. I love what she did.
But this is not even funny. Thank you, Richard. The thing is, I think the word I'm looking for is, she might be suffering from withdrawal syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Wait, now, because for somebody, wait, now let's give her excuses.
No, you don't give her normally. Don't start now. No. Bad behavior is bad behavior. Unfortunately, it was packaged and repackaged for her today.
Bad behavior.
You look at the stance at which she walked.
The way she walked over, it was like I'm looking for trouble.
And she ready to deal with it today.
I would have wanted.
Thank you for calling.
For that woman to get a slap.
Oh, we lost her. Sorry. So character is like smoke.
I'll tell you why.
Character is like smoke. Violence has no gender. I don't know your name, but that's what somebody said. So why?
Well, because really, sometimes we carry on the anger of others without realizing, right? Let me read something out to you very quickly. It's a very short one. And it said that our inability to restrain our impulses leads us to situations where we are almost a prisoner of impulses. So sometimes if you do not learn to control, because trust me, the human, they will always come. I mean, I've been called all sorts of things. I got to a point where I heard something, I was called, what was it again? Retard. And what came to my mind was, sincerely, wow, this is interesting. And all I wanted to find out was why the person, as in,
you were curious about, Let me take Zainab from Gombe State.
Women to be calling today?
Veina. Today. Fantastic. Veina from Gombe State.
Go like this.
I'm telling you.
Hello?
I'll tell you a story.
Veina from Gombe State. Okay.
Oh, we cannot
Sorry,
hear.
we have to cut the line. You guys, please turn off the volume of your television set because we can't hear you. So I get that part, and again, the truth is, in all honesty, I'm not saying this because Norma knows me. I'm not saying this because it is, if I was Bianca, I would not have thrown that slap. You don't see. Let me tell you, why I say that, because you see, when a pig comes to you, forget that any story behind. There's nothing they've not called me in this my lifetime. When a pig comes to you and the pig says it's spoiling for a fight, right? When both of you start to fight, a passerby will not know who the pig is anymore.
They'll say
they drag you in the mud. Sometimes people need to bring you to the mud to be able to get through to you. But let me take Joseph, then I'll continue. Joseph, are you there? Thank you for calling.
But I think that's what was.
Hi, thank you for calling.
Hi, program today.
Thank you.
Yeah, my comment about Mrs. Bianca and Mrs. Obiano, this is about gender or no gender. You can also see a man like that. And mine too can also be. It's not about being a man or being a man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're with you.
Okay, and people that knew her that she's always like that. I don't know another princess, but psychologically when you study human being, for her to have a thought, she stood up from where she sit and went to somebody and be talking and talking and talking before she received that. You know that she's very focused.
Thank you, Joseph. So I get that part, right? You know,
Look,
but all I'm
there are
saying
times-
is,
there are times that you have to react. There is a song that says, I think it's everyone considered him the coward of the county. I think that was by, I don't know if you know him, it's a country song. Everybody considered this young man as a coward. He never fought, he never reacted. Whenever you insult him, he never said anything. But a day came, he had to react. And I think Bianca has been very quiet. She has not done anything, she has not said anything. She has not even been as
Jesus went out to drink koboko now.
As vulgar as I don't want to use the word vulgar, but she hasn't been as upfront or antagonistic. Yes, as the former ex-governor's wife.
Sorry, let me quickly take
she has been able.
Sorry, darling. Ifeoma, are you there? I don't want to lose that call. It's our final call. Are you there? Oh, we lost her again. Oh, sorry.
So she has been able to observe this lady. It's not today. This thing
so
has
you
happened.
think it was right for her to give her that brain reset?
100%.
Okay, all right.
No, it was.
Shall we not endorse?
I will not
violence and slapping.
Exactly.
But I guess where is coming from.
I understand. You might be seen as a coward. But trust me, when you go to that place, Issy,
let's take comments quickly.
I agree with you.
Mama, let's take comment. We don't have time. There shall be no slapping on this table today.
All right, good evening, ladies. This outgoing governor's wife is a disgrace to Nigeria politics. This has affected her husband's political career in future. Your live broadcast is fairly okay today.
Oh, praise the Lord. Ade from UK.
Thank you, Ade.
Bianca from Gombe State, are you there live? Quickly, you're live. Hello? Did we lose her? Go ahead, quickly. You have a minute.
Zainab from Gombe.
Okay, so, Zainab, Nakwana. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Go ahead, quickly. You have a minute. Hello? Zainab from Gombe.
Echo TV.
She's not. I've said this thing here and
I'll take the comment. It says, honestly, girls, it's a very terrible embarrassment. Yeah. I wonder how they will face their children. For me, Madam Bianca, seeing a mad woman coming close, should have quietly run off, given her late husband's status. I have never witnessed such an embarrassment. Yeah. So I think the last comment from me really is, we don't have the backstory. I know so many comments have been said about the Mrs. Obiano and all of that. So we don't have the backstory. And I think the one I saw that sort of maybe, based on what I've seen in the video, might be true is you said you were not going to ever come to an APGA event, and here you are. Because she went with that, so you're here, huh? But the truth of it is, on both sides, look, I'm not going to speak to the cantankerous side because that's the provocation. I'll still come back to, if you do find ourselves, I like the caller that said it's not a male thing, it's not a female thing, because we've seen it go wrong also with men. But the reality of it is that if you find yourself in that situation where you're being provoked or you're being pushed, it's natural. Even me, like, I have a very bad temper. I would have flown off the handle first, and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad that I just did that. Why did I do that, right? So it's just a constant, it should be at the front of your mind. It's something that, all of us need to work on.
Okay, so we have a minute to go. Let me quickly take a comment. Good evening, ladies. Bianca, an ex-beauty queen and a former ambassador, with all this profile and achievement, Obiano's wife still gets mind, slap her. No, it was Bianca that slapped her. Fair women, you ladies are doing great. This is from Mr. Idris. I think, Issy, you have a comment. Nama, you have a comment quickly. Let's see, you have a comment.
Okay, my comment is, wow.
Hurry up.
Issy, welcome back. Missed you this week, especially your permit me to say this, your Oyibo. You look beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies. Violence should never have a time. Bianca should never have slapped in public.
Really? Okay, so we have run out of time. She shouldn't have slapped her? I wouldn't have slapped her though.
I wish.
I wouldn't have slapped her.
But I can understand.
But honestly, some people need brain reset.
Life.
But there are different ways to reset brain. Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring that topic another day. Maybe you teach us how to reset brain.
They should employ me as the polish coach.
No, you see where I was coming from. You're always everything has to be prima proper. Sometimes you have to do.
Before I call you a belle, it's not about prima proper, but you can be firm without violence.
No, this person was in your face. What do you do?
What do you do? You
This
walk
is a
away.
typical, let me round this up. This is a typical case of Russia and Ukraine. That's what's happening right now.
That one is
on that note. We shall move
then
we gotta go.
Thank you, Isi. Thank you, Noma. Thank you. It's been a fantastic conversation. And thank you to everyone that called in and people that tried to call in. Please, the rules, just turn off the volume of your television set so there's no echo. All right, so if you missed, okay, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagrams at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements online. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. To be able to bear provocation is an argument of great reason, and to forgive it is of a great mind. So when you actually rise above provocation, you are a great person. So Bianca, you shouldn't have slapped her, even though she provoked you, right? We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Adios.
Welcome to TW Conversations. In the lounge here, we talk about so many things, but today is particularly interesting because we're talking about a few good men. With me today is Mr. Praise Fowowe. He's a family systems engineer, and he's going to be talking about what really makes a man a good man. Is it his faithfulness, devotedness, loyalty, whatever it is? We'll be right back after the break. Please hold it there. Let's talk about all these together. Welcome back. And then if you see with me here, I have my beautiful ladies back in the lounge. The lounge is full and lively at this point. But before I come to all of you, I really need to talk to Oga Praise. Let's know what it is that he does and why it's special and making an impact. Okay. So this systems thing, it sounds a bit complicated to me. Systems engineer, family.
Well, you know that we say that the family is the most important nation on earth.
Okay.
You know, and that the society is at the mercy of the family. Unfortunately, we are not very intentional about family because we don't understand systems, especially as Africans. Now, if you understand systems and you understand the system that engineered you, that engineered your spouse, then the system you need to create to create a predictable future, then life becomes very easy for you.
Were you always like this?
No.
So this was deliberate on its own?
Oh, yes.
So how many years have you been like this? And
What is this?
Because he's so deliberate about it. So I want to know, how long have you been like this? And is this, so that people can know that...
Well, I've always asked questions, I didn't like the kind of family I grew up in because my dad was like the lion of the tribe of our home. He was a good man, but you had no say, my mom had no say. So I started asking questions, why is life like this? I mean, how come women are the ones who should cook? Why can men do the cooking as well? Why can this happen? So and I began to get answers. Then I went to study a few marriages that have really worked. Wow. I went on to study a couple that had done 68 years. Wow. Then I studied another one that done for 49 years. So I was asking them, why did you marry? They couldn't really explain. So I thought, okay, let me spend some time and study. And because I'd done neuro-linguistic programming, I understand how to study people and create content. So that was what I did. And
Fumi is not too far. How many years has Fumi done now? Oh gosh.
I had 68. So you're now going to make my 37 seem like child.
But it's a lot.
But we all have an impression of what we think a good man should be like. Come on, yeah. Describe your good man.
How are you still looking for that good man?
Yeah, that's what she has to tell us. What are you looking out for?
This is the part where I roll my eyes to the back of my head. But I think that everyone, whether you're married or not, has an idea of what a good man is, whether you're married to one or not. One of the traits that I look for in a man is kindness, because a kind person is thoughtful and considerate, regardless of what's going on. And a kind person is not selfish, And I think that when there are challenges in a relationship or in life, these are traits that come to the surface, regardless. So kindness is one of them.
Saudas, what do you think? How would you describe you're a good man? I mean, you've been married for 13 years.
13, 15.
Oh, wow. What have you done? What have you done right? What have you done right? What has he done right?
Okay.
You?
Right, okay.
Or what has she
No,
done?
let me not say right. Let me just say what has worked for me. I married, I came with a lot of baggage, and I married someone. Because I am like this, doesn't mean that, take me for my nonsense. Because he wasn't like you. Because he's also trying to be better. So you cannot just say, I'm a nasty person, so you better take me for my night. No, you can't do that.
Dion, do you believe in good men?
Yes, there are good men, yes. But there are also good men that turn bad.
So tell us about...
But I like kindness. It's very important.
For your daughters, what would you look out for?
A kind and generous person. I teach my children to be extremely generous in life, because you have what you need when you need it. All the extra, I tell them, is excess that you can be a blessing to someone with. So I say, look for a kind and generous man. I think it's important.
Kind and generous.
I don't know about kind, because definitions are based on, I think friendships are so key.
Very.
If it's somebody that
can you be friends with a nasty man?
We hurt our friends. We say hurtful things to them. We do things.
Yes,
We're vindictive even to our friends whom we love.
That's why if you're friends, then you will understand that sometimes friends hurt each other. Yeah. Do you understand? And because in marriage, I mean, for me, help me here. That's why you're here.
It's when the question is definition of what each person thinks is a good man.
Yes.
It's going to be almost different from all of us, for each person. Women, we like to say, the right words, but in our souls, what satisfies each woman is probably quite different. Absolutely. And the balance each woman is willing to accept, is willingness to accept that person also. But I believe that a good man is the one that is interested in keeping whatever the relationship or the exhibition, as I call it, because it becomes an exhibition. I mean, if you've been with somebody for 36 years, life has shown you all kinds of things. But if there is a man in the middle there who is willing to keep it on the road, who is interested in making everybody else around him happy, and who tries his best, because in the end, we can define a good man men can go away and define what is a good woman also. So let's be careful here.
Okay, so what do we do now with our expectations? Do you think that ladies these days have absurd expectations of men?
Well, I think that people have I mean, it's not for human beings to have expectations, but like I was sharing with, I mean, we're talking and you were asking me who is a good man, and I said, even when they asked Jesus that question, he said, no man is good. Oh yeah, that it depends on the angle you're looking at it. You know, so you would say a man who is faithful, never cheats on his wife, but is very reckless with money. So his wife would tell you he's not a good man, because what happens is we all look for that dark spot in each person and we focus on it and magnify it and exaggerate it. Now you become what you build consistently, so you overlook several other sides, because no man is absolutely bad. No man is absolutely good.
No man is absolutely bad?
None.
Do we all agree?
Yeah, you should be asking.
You will be shocked that even when Osama bin Laden was killed, there were people who cried. When Gaddafi was killed, there were people who cried. Yes. So you're not close to them. You don't know. So the people who are close enough see the good sides of these people. You know. So I always say to people, you say you need to define what you're looking for, right? And if you can find that in your person, then it's fine. But maybe she said something about good people can actually become bad. You know, because remember that we're all coming from different backgrounds, and we could have been an engineer. There could be some self-sabotaging software installed already in you that you may not.
Okay, install. Software.
Speak up and what have you. So something was installed in me to say, hey, when you grow up, you know, you are the lion of the tribe of your home. You know, your woman, you never get into the kitchen. I mean, it was insulting for a man to wash his plates or to go to the kitchen and things like that. Those things were already installed.
So you have to reprogram yourself.
Oh yes. So I mean, when women talk about being romantic, my wife had to teach me, because let me tell you, when I was growing up, my dad, I only saw him hug my mom once a year, and that usually would be crossover from